What's going on, everyone? So, welcome to the latest live stream. This is a series where Sergey of SkynetGen, Marv, the number one Cowboys fan, and myself came together through 4 live streams to come up with our top 100, where we each provided our top 100, and then in some cases, the audience has helped us find this collective top 100. We are going in alphabetical order. You clicked on this live stream, so you know it. This time around, we are talking about Birdman, or The Unexpected Virtue of Ignorance, which is a 2014 film that won 4 Academy Awards, which, let's see if I can remember all 4 off the top of my head. It won for Best Picture, Best Director, Best Screenplay, and then it also won Best Cinematography. Yep, correct. It was a huge success both critically as well as box office-wise, and for those of you that don't know, it is about a washed-up superhero actor who attempts to revive his fading career by writing, directing, and starring in a Broadway production. Sergey, I'll start with you. What's your relationship with this film? Did you experience it on the big screen or?
I experienced it at home, the year that it came out.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember really enjoying it. I think it's a movie that it's grown over time, like my appreciation of it. But I think the writing was always like the writing and the editing was so like fast paced that it immediately like drew me in, and I've always appreciated how fast paced it is. And then as I grew older, I picked up more on the themes of the movie, and I just think it's a fascinating journey about the characters. They're all going through something, each single one of them. And I thought that was a fitting story about Michael Keaton and his career. Uh, I thought it was just a really well made film. Um, it was funny too when it needed to be. And the writing was really good.
I agree with all your points. It's a shame you didn't see it in theaters because I saw this twice in theaters. I'll never forget the first time I saw it with a good friend of mine, and we both immediately loved it. Second time I showed it to 2 friends. I think it was several weeks after, and one of them was an actor. He had done some plays, and he immediately caught on to like the meta nature, the acting within acting within acting. And then my other friend who saw it with us, he wasn't a fan, which is funny though because years later he was like, "Yeah, I respect it now. Like, I think it's actually really good." But I immediately was taken aback by just like the long take nature, how it's made to look like one long take, because that for me that's something that it's not only just a testament to the directing and the cinematography, it's also a testament to the acting. Like the actors have to remember their lines, their marks for so long. I mean, there were some takes I believe that were like 10, 15 minutes, and I mean you've seen the film. I mean, there's a lot of things that happen where it's like, okay, how did they pull this off? And for me, that's what filmmaking is all about. And I think one of the things that's also fascinating about this film is that when I saw this in 2014, I was really into the superhero genre. I mean, this is the same year where we had um, Captain America, Winter Soldier. We had X-Men: Days of Future Past, and believe it or not, at that time I liked Amazing Spider-Man too. So it was like one of those things where I was enjoying the superhero genre, but I was still able to watch this and respect and in many ways admire the critiques it had for the genre and just in general like blockbusters. So watching it now though, I think it was way ahead of its time because it's aged like a fine wine. But we'll talk more about it. Marv, I know you are late to the game because you saw it for the first time today. Um,
I
why
just
did it
turned it
take
off.
11 years to finally watch Birdman or The Unexpected Virtue of Ignorance?
Well, it's a part of the top 100, so I guess, what's the word I'm looking for? Obligated to watch it. Um,
He was held at gunpoint. He had to watch it.
yeah. But I always heard about it. I knew what it was when it came out. It came out the same. Actually, one of the best. Well, I guess one of my favorite movie years, to be honest. 2014 is a really big. It's actually a big year for me. That was the year we got Gone Girl. We got Interstellar. I know I give it a lot of crap, but I did love it back then. Um, you mentioned the other movies, Spider-Man 2, which I loved back then too. So that was a big year. Also, not just in movies, but also personally. I got my first apartment back then. Uh,
Oh, nice.
I got engaged back then. So that was a great year, and I had seen this poster, and I thought it was like a kind of like a space ghost You know what Space Ghost is? I thought it was like a Space Ghost movie. I was like, ooh, Space Ghost.
What
But it
is a
Star
wasn't.
Wars.
Space Ghost movie?
Star Wars.
Space Ghost. Space Ghost is a superhero who has a talk show. So when I saw the poster with Michael Keaton, I was like, oh, is this supposed to be Space Ghost? Anyway, uh, I never saw it. I just watched it literally just now. I just turned it off probably about. It went off at 8:27.
Oh
So
wow.
so if you're wondering what my thoughts are, I would say it's a fine movie. I would say I you guys praise Michael Keaton, but you guys didn't mention Zach Galifianakis, who I
Oh, we're
thought
just
did.
getting started. Dude, I could talk about this movie for 10 hours.
I cannot, so please don't start. But Zach Galifianakis, he did a really great job, and I didn't know it was him at first, and now I was like, oh, that's Alan from The Hangover. Let's go. And to see the range that he had, because for me personally, I've always had the belief that comedic actors are actually probably some of the greatest actors that we have. Mind you, most people probably won't feel that way, but I think just because their talent lends itself to just being absurd. They can be obnoxious. They can be empathetic. They just have a wild different. They have a wild like a smorgasbord of talent that they can tap into at any given moment. And I feel like he was himself, but he was able to show that he had real chops for this. And I was proud of him. He was the one person that I was like, no, he has to be my MVP here. Because everybody else in the movie, you've seen them do something kind of like this. I've never seen him do anything like this. So I want to single him out and give him his flowers. I also was a really big fan of Andrea Riseborough, who played, I don't remember her name in the movie, but she did
Oh
a
yeah,
good job. She did a great job as his side piece. I was really happy for her. She looked really beautiful. I thought it was weird that he was dating somebody that was almost the same age as his daughter, but whatever. Uh, Emma Stone really didn't do it for me in this. I thought she was at
really.
first, but she didn't. She didn't do a bad job. I just didn't think she had much to do. And
See, I was on the same page until you mentioned that because I'll be honest, like I've always liked Emma Stone, but this was what solidified, like, yeah, she's one of my favorite actresses, hands down. I'll also piggyback off what you're saying. 2014 was a huge year for me. In fact, I did a video about how it was a film year that changed me as, just an individual. I mean, that was the year where I realized what you said, which is true, is that comedic actors have it incredibly hard because they're typecast as like, oh, all they do is comedy, but a lot of them want to do drama. And this was the year that we had, as you mentioned, Zach Galifianakis did this, which is a mix of drama and comedy. You had Steve Carell in Foxcatcher, which was a very dramatic role. You
You
had
had your
Ralph
favorite
Fiennes.
Tyler Perry in The Gone Girl.
That's a great point too, sir. Yeah, like Tyler Perry. You would not expect Medea to be in a David Fincher film, but he killed it. He did an incredible job. Uh,
wonderful job.
Ralph Fiennes in the Grand Budapest Hotel, the guy that plays Voldemort and who also plays Amon Goth in Schindler's List, killed it in the Grand Budapest Hotel in a very comedic role. So I agree with you. And I also think it's worth noting that Zach Galifianakis, one of the most impressive things about his performance is the fact that from what I read up on this film, he flubbed some of his lines, but he did such a great job in terms of his performance that he made it work for his character to where you don't even think of it as a flub. That's how great he is. Versus some of the other actors, if they flubbed, they had to, redo the take and everything. So it's pretty impressive. I will also say Edward Norton. I mean, we'll talk about the actors. Edward Norton was
I actually
phenomenal.
I did not care for Norton in this,
I thought he was
honestly.
hilarious,
I did too.
Nah, I didn't.
especially the bedroom scene in the bed under the
Nah,
blanket.
I was thinking of Marv. I was like, Marv's gonna hate this scene.
nah. I just
Oh.
I didn't care for Norton at all. Nah. I'm cool off Norton. I like Norton. I not in this movie. That he didn't do a bad job. I didn't. Well, I guess he did a good job because I didn't like the character at all. I guess the character's supposed to be unlikable, and he did a good job of making him unlikable. But I don't, yeah, whatever with that. I just nah. What's the name? Mike Shiner? Nah. Um.
Well,
Who else
so
did I?
that's the interesting thing, though. I mean, there are a lot of actors that are like that. And one of my favorite scenes in the film, which I mean, there are many. I mean, honestly, I could make the argument of that the whole film is my favorite scene. But specifically, I love that rooftop scene where he's talking to Emma Stone, and he, for the first time, is like vulnerable. Like you never really see that. You always see him kind of use humor as a mechanism for his own shortcomings, as a way to deflect. But that's like the first time where she breaks down his barriers to where you actually see who he is, and it's someone that he doesn't really know what he wants, other than when he's on stage. That's when he can actually be his true self. Like that's how he looks at it. It's very fascinating, I think, because I feel like that's how a lot of people are that are in that industry. And just honestly, in general, I mean, you always hear some people say where it's like their life is their work. And I feel like Mike Shiner is a good example of that. But then you see Michael Keaton, who he's someone that his character was someone that was a big movie star. And it's like that kind of has faded because of his age. Which again, going back to Birdman being way ahead of its time, it's kind of hilarious because then years and years later, he would be in The Flash as a 70-year-old man playing Batman. So it's like, you know, I don't know. I think when I watched The Flash, I thought that was pretty funny. But
Emma Stone breaks down, you know, his life as well in that one scene where she just lays it on him.
There's also
that is a good scene. That's a great scene. Yeah, that was a good scene. I like that one. That's the one scene that I actually really did like.
I mean, it was definitely hard to hear for him, but that was a really great scene.
I don't think it should have been hard to hear because I feel like he had to hear it. That's kind of like, I'm not gonna get into it, Chad, but that's kind of like when I told that guy and you got mad at me for it. That's what he had to hear. That he had to.
Oh, okay. One had to do it.
You don't got to get into it. It's apples and oranges. But I'm just saying, that was an instance where she told him, "Dude, you're making it bigger than it has to be. Like you're making it complicated. Nobody cares." But go ahead. What you want to talk about?
I was gonna say. I mean, that's the whole point of the film, though, is that these are all complicated characters. Like I know you'll put a blanket over it that, you know, they're all like unlikable, but the truth is that they're all human. Like there's elements to all of them where there's some quote unquote good to them, but it's one of those things where they're so caught up in their own life and with what's going on that it's hard to see the positives in terms of their own life. And that's why I think it's very interesting watching it as an objective viewer, where it's like the lead character is someone that is like anyone. We all try to be relevant, whether we want to admit it or not. And it's like for him, he's putting it in the theater. He's trying to, you know, go from being this blockbuster star to someone that, like, you know, is going to be picking up awards and everything. And it's like, it's kind of terrifying because then you have this critic who, by the way, to this day, I'm like, I know some people are like, yeah, this is how critics are. And I'm just like, not really, because there are, don't get me wrong, I'm sure that there are some, but I'm like, no, the whole point is that
that just makes you wonder what was going on in her career. Maybe this is not something she wanted to do, or what was going on in her life. That maybe she was a positive critic at some point, but this is kind of like an obligation. She no longer likes her job anymore, and she can't do what she wanted to do. Maybe she wanted to be a stage performer. You know, you don't know her life. Or
I hated her, and I hated her, and it reinforced my stance.
I mean, when he had that speech in the bar, I mean, I kind of like. I mean, she deserved to hear that, but maybe she also was going through something.
Nah, she's trash.
Honestly,
but what got her to that point? I'm sure she might have been a pleasant person at some point in her life.
Where did you get that from?
Because
we all have I like
the journey, a story of how we got to where we are.
How do you think that she ended up that way? Like you said that she was probably a pleasant person. How do you figure that? What evidence did you have that she was probably a pleasant person? I saw a miserable old whore.
But why? How does someone become so miserable though?
Well, like what he said it at the beginning. Was it him? Or was it the voice of Birdman? Was it him where he said what did he said? A critic is an artist that failed, so they criticize, and then it was Norton, and then it was
Norton.
He said a informant is a person who failed at being a soldier. So she probably wanted to be an artist, but she probably didn't have the confidence or whatever, what have you.
Yeah.
So she became a critic. So and this is why I don't care for critics, Chad. Exactly why. And I'm glad when I saw her. I'm glad when Norton said it, but when I saw her on screen and she said what she said to him, I was like, I can't wait to see Chad's face and talk about this because I hate her. She's the type of woman that you have to drag to the top of the Empire State Building and drop her off of it.
Jesus
Well,
Christ.
I think the in the end of the movie where she's the only one sitting, I think that makes it even more important because her word like has no weight anymore, or at least in we'll talk about whether that's real or not. But
Oh, I was gonna say we are 100%. I know normally we try to stray from spoilers. We're 100% talking about that ending because it's one of my favorite of the 21st century. I think it's brilliant. It only gets better with each viewing, but I don't know, Marv. See, Sergey makes a good point. I didn't think about it before, but it's like, yeah, I think at some point maybe they'll do an MCU spinoff where it's like we get to see a movie about her. In
no,
all seriousness, we don't know her story. Like we don't. She could have been like someone that was very much so positive towards films, and then over the course of time, she became more jaded. I mean, 2014. I'll be honest, Marv. That was a year where I was paying for my tickets. I didn't have AMC A list, so I was paying for tickets, and I wasn't seeing as much as I do now. So when you're cherry picking and you're seeing like Birdman, you're seeing Whiplash, you're seeing Foxcatcher, like you're seeing all these movies like one gem after another. It's one of those things where it's like, of course you're going to be positive, but if you're a critic and you're seeing a couple hundred films a year, you're literally seeing all of it. You're seeing the good, the bad, and the ugly, and that can make someone jaded. I mean, Sergey
No,
and I, we both watch at least 100.
hard pass. No,
I mean, if
no.
she's getting rejected in the industry, and she didn't get to do what she wanted, here comes a guy who just does like MCU films and he's getting this big break that she never got. She would probably feel jealous about that and want to tear it apart.
That's her problem. That's nobody
Sergey's
else's
coming out
problem but
swinging.
her.
I love it.
That's her problem.
That
That
makes her a
no,
person. She has problems.
no. That means she's a hater and she needs to die.
So,
She needs to die because she's a critic.
Well, she's going to die. She's like 75 years old. But she's all has one foot in the grave already. She should do us all a favor and just die.
man,
Fix
Marv would
this.
hate sentimental value.
I was gonna say
Well,
probably,
Yeah.
even though it's a good film. By the way, I'll get to the comments in a section, but yeah, Sentimental Value I really liked. No, I think that's the thing. Watching that critic scene when I was younger, it was like, oh wow, like this is like how critics are. But then as I got older and I became more and more critical, I'm like, not really. I mean, it's supposed to be heightened. The whole film is a surreal comedy. So every single aspect is heightened. I mean, that's one of the reasons why, if you even look at the play that they're doing, it's Raymond Carver. But if you look at the set pieces and everything for it, it looks like something straight out of like Black Swan. And I will talk about Black Swan, Whiplash, which I'm not going to talk too much about because that's our last film in this top 100. And I don't want to spoil it for Marv. But I will say that I love the through line of those three films because they are all similar in regards to the structure, but it just goes to show it's all about the directing and the writing and the acting and how that can really have a big effect on the differences. I also wanted to mention the fact that they shot most of this on location, the fact that they shot that scene of Michael
The New York shot.
The which scene?
The scene where he's in his underwear outside.
That scene, knowing the behind the scenes, how they had to shoot it at like 2-3 a.m. in New York City, just so that way there wasn't too many people like filming and everything, like them behind the scenes. That's pretty impressive. Like I thought that. First of all, I also thought it was hilarious the fact that he went through all that, went inside, and then when he went inside, he then had to go right into character. And he's like,
well, he had his prop gun, which was his finger. Yeah. And then he got handed the gun.
And I love every time I laugh out loud when right after that, Zagonovsky's literally looking at his phone and he tries to pick it up and he like drops it. And that's an instance where I'm like, was that scripted or did he make that like gaffle work? I'm like, I don't know, but either way, it's a brilliant moment. Real quick, we have several comments. It looks like the Trison is in the chat. About time. We've been missing you, man. Hello, haven't seen y'all since before Halloween. Yeah, man. I know we've been talking off to the side. I'm glad you were able to make it tonight. First time I saw Birdman, I thought it was just okay. I still think it is.
I'm with him.
But what's your rating, Marv?
I would. mm, mm. I'll give it a 2.75.
Jeez.
I'm sorry. I must be high. Say it again.
2.75.
A 2.75 for Birdman?
Yes.
It had to be singles 5 out of 5.
Yeah.
It's not. It's
And
not.
Materialist is 3 out of 5.
That
Materialist, I thought was better than this movie. Shout out
apparently
to Yola
barely.
song. Barely, yeah, barely.
Not
but-
enough attractive women. Noted.
What are you talking about? I just told you. It's Naomi Watts. There's Emma Stone. There's Andrea Riseborough. Even the
That's
old
why
why
Mark
is
gave
it
it an extra
2.75?
star.
Hmm?
That's why Mark gave it an extra star.
Wow, okay. That's the
Because of
whole
who?
2.75.
That's the whole rating.
Yeah.
By the way, remember your promise to rewatch Barbarian and Weapons for Halloween, Marv? I saw Weapons, but I haven't checked out Barbarian yet.
Oh
He
yeah.
said Weapons
I'm
was
gonna watch.
entertaining, but I could do without it. IDK.
Weapons was entertaining. If I could do it. Well, you know what's crazy? I've actually heard it a lot lately. People are starting to, because I guess a lot of people online are putting their bids in. They're like, yeah, Weapons should get an Oscar, and a lot of people are like saying like, no, Weapons is not better than Sinners. Weapons is not better than this. So there's a lot of
Why not
pushback.
nominate both?
Hmm?
Why not nominate both?
Well, it's the same studio, so they won't.
So I thought that, but I was reading up on. So it's funny. I posted my video about why I was worried about One Battle After Another months ago, and then literally a week later, Warner Brothers announced that they're actually going to be pushing for Sinners, One Battle After Another, and Weapons for Oscars. So
They're pushing both.
all three, yes.
That's awesome.
So specifically supporting actress for what's her face? She's going to be
Amy Madigan.
Yeah, and I think she could be nominated.
I would give it to her.
I could see it.
She deserves it.
Let's
If
see.
she gets, that would be so good for the horror genre. A Bloody Disgusting is going to throw a party.
Also, the price says saw Sixth Sense for the first time though. Goated. Yeah, that's such a great movie.
Guess what? It's not in this top 100. But you know what is? Signs.
Hey, I told you guys to take it out.
We can't take it out, Marv. We spent. Actually, I think those live streams were like 2 hours. So we spent like 8 hours curating this list. It's finalized. We got to go through it now.
Hey, I gave you your out. I gave you guys your out, so I don't want to hear no complaining.
Yeah, but think about it. If people are, because I have this on a what's it called, a playlist. So if people are going through the four and then they see these and they're like, wait a minute, I thought Signs made it. Why is Sixth Sense here?
I get what you're saying. I'm saying I don't want to hear about it. I said when we were curating, I said take it out if you don't want it. Take out, and you said no, we'll keep it. I said all right then. So I don't want to hear it anymore. It's a great movie, and we're going to enjoy watching.
We need Marv movies. That's why we have what's that movie? Saturday
Night Live, Friday Night Lights.
There was a theme actually. I was joking, but yeah, we got Friday and we got Saturday Night Lights.
It's not Saturday Night Lights. What are you talking about?
It's Friday Night Lights. Oh, so it's just okay, Friday and Friday. Dude, I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, Birdman, yeah, boner jump scare, bro. I'll never forget the first time I saw that. I was like, yo, that is actually hilarious. And it worked in terms of marketing. Like, there were more and more people that watched that play because of that. I was like, oh, Mike Shiner went all method acting.
Yeah.
You know, maybe I should have method viewed this film that way. I'm 100% kidding. Could you imagine?
What would you do? Be Charlie Sheen in the Scary Movie, where he takes all those pills?
The Viagra.
Yeah.
Better than Babel when I was enjoyable to me from Inner 2 than Bardo and Revenant. Haven't seen his other films though. It's funny. I was actually telling Marv yesterday about how I've seen all of his films, and I think the only one I didn't like was Beautiful. But Bardo, I go between okay and solid, but everything else I think is like good to fantastic. Amores Perros, that movie it's very hard to watch, but it's a good film. Sergey, that's actually part of the Criterion Collection. So you
Which one
actually
is
it's
that?
December now, but
Which one?
it's called Amores Perros.
Okay.
I'm not going to spoil anything, but there's one storyline in particular that especially now, I just don't think it would. I don't think, not that I wouldn't like it. I think it's a really good film, but it'd be harder to watch. When you see the film, you'll know what I'm talking about. Detroit's looking out for his next one with Tom Cruise next year. I heard it's a conspiracy thriller. I thought it was a comedy, but a conspiracy thriller, I'd be down for that as well. I'm so excited for that. Like, one of the biggest stars, Alejandro, coming back and doing American films again. I mean, his last big film was The Revenant, because he did Bardo for Netflix, and that was I forget what language, but it was an international feature. So
yeah.
Bootzilla's in the chat. Bootzilla, good to hear from you, man. He says, hello, everyone. Not a big fan of this movie. Breaking my heart. I've only seen it once. I've only seen it once in its entirety and tried to watch it again, but it just didn't capture me. Oh, that's a shame. I rewatched it again recently, and as Sergey said, it really does get better and better. Seemed a little pretentious. Maybe that's the point, but just not for me. See, I'm at the point. Oh, wait. Actually, before I answer that, Bootzilla says something. By the way, I hate using the word pretentious, like I hate using the word overrated. Seems a little too full of itself. That might be a better way to describe it for me. LOL. I was going to say, I think it might have been you, Marv, that I was saying where it's like, I'm at the point in my life where I don't believe in the word pretentious, because that's something that the audience is implementing on the movie. Like, it's different if the filmmaker is like saying like, oh, I'm the greatest director of all time, and this movie is the best and it's better than this. Okay, yeah, that's pretentious. But if the filmmaker is doing something in like an artful way where it's using a lot of visual storytelling, or there's a lot of things that are just different than most films, that doesn't mean that it's pretentious. The audience might think it is because it's different and everything, and it's like, oh, you think you're so important. It's like, no, I just want to try to make a film that's different than others.
Which director I thought was like pretentious, and I still think he is.
Nolan?
No.
Nolan? No, Sergey likes Nolan.
It's what's his name? Jordowski.
Who?
You haven't seen any of his movies, but I mean, I've only seen one movie. The El Topo director.
Oh, right.
I think he's so full of himself.
Really? I see. One of the things that I like about him is that he's a filmmaker that, like, when I haven't seen all of his films yet, but like when I watch his movies, it's 100% objective, because there's just so much emphasis on the visuals, and when you're focusing on visuals, there's so much more room for the audience to try to put in their own life and put in their own things. And I don't know. I think it's more so. I think it's better than if someone's like writing something and it's like trying to spoon feed the audience and saying like, this is what you got to think. Refn, what?
Like Running Man.
That was a disappointment.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I gave it a passing rating, but that was a disappointment.
I had a feeling it was going to be bad.
It didn't start out bad. It was good at first, and then the last, I guess, hour just became a ham-fisted. I don't know what was going on.
It wasn't even. We'll talk about Running Man another time, but it wasn't even necessarily that. It was just that the entire third act could have been a movie in itself. It just felt so rushed, and it felt like something completely different. And Edgar Wright's signature style it wasn't really there for that movie, unfortunately. But you win some, you lose some. But I mean, I'm glad we at least saw it together. That was fun.
It was fun till the last hour.
Agreed. That's right. So I saw a video recently comparing the Wonder method between Birdman and 1917. Now, 1917 was a lot better at it than this, and I totally agreed.
1917 is a great one. Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's apples and oranges, though. I mean, like, one's a war film, one's a surreal comedy. It's
really
hard
a comedy. This movie's not funny. You keep saying it's a
comedy.
I think
it's hilarious.
I thought it was hilarious when I was 18. I think it's even more funny as a 29-year-old.
Chat, listen, everybody in the chat, everybody watching on the live stream right now, get in the comments and tell me if you think this is a comedy. If you think it's funny, spam W's. If it's not funny, spam L's. Not that doesn't mean you like it or not. You can still like it and think it's not funny. I just want to know, am I the only one that's tripping here? Because I didn't find this funny at all. I didn't laugh once. So
That doesn't mean it's
chat,
not a comedy, though. I don't think Scary Movie 5's funny. It doesn't mean it's
that movie,
not a comedy.
that movie is terrible. That movie is terrible. Don't you want to compare that to this?
No. I'm making a point. Just because a movie doesn't make you
Use a
laugh
different
doesn't make
movie.
it.
I will not allow it. No.
But I'm saying,
No.
Marv,
Mm-mm.
I'm saying, just because
Use
a
Game
movie
Night.
doesn't make you laugh doesn't make it not a comedy.
If it's a comedy that doesn't make you laugh, it failed.
It's still a comedy.
No. Chat, you heard what I said. Spam them W's and L's.
Marv,
Let's get it going.
Marv, it makes no sense whatsoever.
You make no sense. You just what
You
just
know the
$8.
comedy
$5.
Marv likes. It's called Old Boy with Spike Lee.
Huh?
Yeah, and that's a
do
drama.
that. Don't do that. You like Captain America 4. Stop it.
I didn't say I like Captain America 4. I said it was
Not you, dude. Him. Well, you like it too. And you like Superman.
I thought it was average.
They're enjoyable. For what they are, they're fine.
You like what's that movie you just told me about? We were just talking about it. Beetlejuice 2. Stop it.
What? Beetlejuice 2 is good. It's flawed, but it's an enjoyable
I'm about to get
movie.
off this live chat. What did you just say?
You didn't like the Soul Train? Come on.
For the record, I mean, I don't know why I have to explain it, but a film can be a comedy and not make you laugh. There were plenty of times
That mean it failed. What are you talking about?
No, it doesn't.
Yes, you're wrong. Period.
No. So there are comedies that I've seen specifically. So outside of Edgar Wright, British humor is something that it takes me a little bit to get into.
This is drier.
Exactly. It's drier. And just because it doesn't make me quote unquote laugh, it doesn't mean it's a failure, because at the end of the day, guess what? The filmmaking is still usually really good.
Yeah.
Like they actually
Do
have
you
a
like
lot of
Monty
craft.
Python, Marv?
I never watched it.
Okay.
See, that's a film that it took me a couple times to find it funny. But the reason why I came back to it multiple times is because of how creative it is, how there was clearly a lot of work that went into it, and also knowing the behind the scenes with all that they had to go through, it really added to a level of appreciation. So that's hilarious. Volkswagen 18 is in the chat. He says, "Happy Hump Day, go Birds." You'll appreciate this. I just saw the first 2 episodes of Stranger Things season 5. I'm sure I'll text you about it. Bootzilla 1550. It's supposed to be a comedy, I guess, but I didn't laugh. Exactly. He's still saying
He
it's a
also
comedy.
never watched it again either.
At the Golden Globes, it was nominated for Best Musical or Comedy. So there you go.
I mean, the new Spinal Tap is a comedy. I mean, I can't say I laughed too many times. I still enjoyed the movie.
Exactly. That's a good example. I love that. Actually, I have a great example. Sergey, I think you might have mentioned in the group chat before, but Sergey, a lot of horror films, they don't like scare him. Does that mean they're not horror films? No, they're horror films. It just means that they didn't scare him. So he looks at the other aspects, like the atmosphere, the pacing, all of that, like what filmmaking is.
Yeah, there's messages. I feel like those are more important for me to take away than being scared from jump scares or something.
But that's the thing.
In fact,
You
that
don't
makes
have to
it
get-
cheap. And
You don't have to get scared. But you can be unsettled. You can be uncomfortable. The mood can unsettle you. It doesn't have to make you jump. But if it made you feel uneasy, it did its job.
So then maybe a comedy doesn't have to make you laugh. It can make you
But
smirk.
if you watch
or
the
just
comedy,
smile.
you're stone faced the whole way. It failed.
I don't agree with that. There were plenty of comedy. Like we talked about The Big Lebowski. I didn't think it was funny the first time, but I came back to it because, as I mentioned in the last live stream, I love the filmmaking. I thought the filmmaking was excellent, and that's ultimately why I come back to it. Like I forget who it was I told. I would rather rewatch a film where the filmmaking is top tier than a film where the filmmaking is just either so bland or forgettable, but it's a film that is more accessible. Like for me, it lessens the impact of what I'm watching. So like a film like Superman, it for a one-time watch, it's fine, it's enjoyable, it's whatever. Am I gonna come back to it? No, because I know in 5 years it's gonna be one of those things where I'm gonna be like, I don't know about this. But in the moment, sure, I enjoy it.
Poor Things a comedy technically, right?
Yeah,
I'd rather watch the better version of the Big Lebowski called Honey Don't. That's a way better. That's a
There
way
is no
better.
Honey Don't without Big Lebowski.
Well, let's just pretend that it is.
It stole all of its ideas, probably.
And it did a better job. Yes. It had Margaret Qualley with Aubrey Plaza in bed. Yes.
Marv, I enjoy Honey Don't. I'm probably one of the 5 people on Letterboxd that enjoy that movie, but no, I'm sorry. And I guarantee you when Sergey watches the movie, he's going to be like, Sergey, you should just make the review not better than Big Lebowski. Volkswagen Joe 18 says Beetlejuice is okay. I agree.
Beetlejuice 1 is the classic. I said
Yeah.
Beetlejuice 2 is garbage.
No, that's what he's talking about.
It's
Beetlejuice 2.
enjoyable. It's not as good as the first.
Godzilla 1550. Instead of laughing, I just thought that's strange, but okay. Let's go. Stranger Things. Yeah, man. 2 more episodes. Bootzilla 1550. Did Chad just call me Bootzilla 1550? Just kidding. I hate these new names in the chat. Dude, I know. Especially if I'm like scrolling through. If I'm scrolling through and at the same time, trying to bring to the forefront what I was before all trying to bring up. Sometimes I do that, so I apologize. But yes, it's funny. Birdman, when I saw Ed Norton, it reminded me of dark movie Death to Smoochie. I actually haven't seen that.
I have.
I need to add it to the list.
Did it
I will
make you
give
laugh?
Birdman another viewing to see if it grows on me. I have tried to watch it in a few years, but I'll give it another go. Do it, man. We're actually going to talk about the ending now, so we're going to have spoilers. But Tryson first says, I would rewatch Birdman, but I'm in no rush. LOL. So here's where we're going to talk about. Let me get the banner up. Spoilers. So the ending.
I can go?
No. I'm going to go. I'm going
You
to
always go. Let me go. I want to go.
I'm going to go, and then.
This ending sucked.
There we go. No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
I'm going to explain my interpretation, and then we'll let Sergey piggyback. And then Marv, if you have anything to add as a first-time viewing, you can do so. So the big thing about the ending is, for those who don't know, the lead character throughout the film had kind of implied that he had been suicidal. One of the first shots of the film, you see some jellyfish on the beach. And later on in the film, you realize that he had gone out into the ocean and he had, attempted suicide. So that happened. Well, he reveals that to his ex-wife. And then several scenes later, it turns out that it's not a prop gun. He actually, the scene that they keep doing, he actually killed himself for real. Now, after that, something that's really, really important occurs. The entire film, yes, has had several cuts, but they're like hidden cuts. But at that moment, that illusion breaks. Because if you notice, it goes from him shooting himself to then the audience. And there's something really, really important that happens. The entire audience is stunned, and then they start clapping. There's one person that's not clapping. And there's one person leaves. Is clearly not happy and leaves. That person being the critic. So right away, it's very easy to tell that the critic wasn't about with what happened. Whether she knows that it actually happens, like him killing himself, she's not happy with the performance. She's not convinced, or she has already had her mind made up, which she had alluded to at the bar earlier in the film. And then we go to the hospital. But right before then, there's like a montage of like some cuts and everything, with like Birdman like coming down and everything. And then he's in the hospital, and his life is suddenly perfect, pretty much. His daughter isn't angsty. She's really nice. She's loving. His ex-wife is there and is really happy. Another detail I noticed this time around that I appreciate was Emma Stone got him the right flowers. It wasn't the wrong flowers this time. It was the right flowers. So like everything in his life in this finale is going right. But again, when you break the illusion that you had established previously in the film, it either means one, the director doesn't know what he's doing, or two, it's very much so intentional. And I'm 100% going with the latter because there are so many details in that final scene, like the last shot where he is going out the window, and you're not sure if he's falling down or if he's going up, like Birdman. The daughter looks up, and it's implied that she sees her husband. Now, the thing that I interpreted this time around was that her looking up is a way of him looking at how she appreciates the fact that he was like a big actor, that he was big before he, did this project and everything. And not only that, that this is like a fever dream of sorts that he wishes that she appreciated, with what he did previously when he was doing the first three Birdmans. Another aspect is that she laughed, which is something she never really did throughout the movie. So there's a lot of details that we can discuss more. But Sergey, do you have anything to add? Like any details that you picked up? Because I know you've seen this many times as well.
I do agree that it's like an alternate story happening once he gets on stage. More of a positive message, I guess. I get with his life and his career. Yeah, I mean, you hit on a lot of all the notes that I was thinking, so not sure what else I can add there.
The critic, I also forgot to mention, the critic writes a raving review.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Nah. That critic that absolutely hates him and everything that he represents gave him a raving review. But again, you see her leaving the audience, and that's clearly not I'm going to quickly write her a positive review. That's like, I can't stand what I just saw. In many ways, she's kind of a representation of like Marv watching the movie. Like she's like, I can't stand watching this. And like,
so then when does it stop being real?
So it stopped for me. It stopped being real at that point
when she left.
Yes, and then everything after that is like a fever dream, like his slowly dying, like him slowly losing consciousness. Because at that point, he's like on the stage. He's probably like his eyes are closed and everything, and like his last thoughts are positive.
Or maybe it's a rave review, and maybe that's her kind of revenge. He'll never see the review, no matter how positive it is.
Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing too. Like he got a new nose. I mean, new noses, I've never had to get a nose job, but they're expensive. And he literally says that he put everything into this play. And I guess you can make the argument of like, oh, well, it's a success, but again, I'm not 100% sure how the theater works, but I'm sure that took a while for him to get the money and everything, like the back ends to that. So how did he afford several $1,000s surgery? I don't know. But again, that's not necessarily...
He's in debt. You'll have to call him soon.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Marv, do you have anything to add in regards to like your interpretation of the ending? Other than that you don't like it.
That he died slowly, that he jumped out the window, but before he died, he got Sam, and at least in his mind, got to see him how he always wanted to be seen.
Okay, I like that. I mean, another thing I forgot to mention, I look at it as a fever dream, like from his point of view, but you could also look at it as like her in denial. Like if we look at it from her viewpoint, it's like, well, maybe she's in denial. Like maybe she doesn't want to look at the ground and instead wants to look up and see like, oh, maybe he is like this like godlike figure when he like played Birdman. I also think the title really comes into play, like because of how YouTube works. I couldn't write out the full title in the tagline, but the full title of the film is Birdman or the Unexpected Virtue of Ignorance. Now, if we break it down, which we love doing on here, the unexpected virtue of ignorance. Now, that entire ending, I think, is all about ignorance because everyone is clueless to the fact that, like, how serious it is that someone tried to commit suicide. They're all looking at the positives where it's like, well, now you're famous, now you have critical acclaim. It's like, yeah, but he tried to kill himself. Like, shouldn't we have like a therapist nearby? Shouldn't we be focusing on his mental health? And it's like, no, instead it's focusing more on like the money and everything, which is exactly what he did, exactly why he like didn't want to do Birdman 4. He wanted to do this for like the critical acclaim, which he got, but he also ended up making a successful play. If you're looking at it quite literally, but I don't think it is, because up to that point, the entire film has been very surreal. I mean, as Batzilla said, it's a film that's very like weird, and it's intentionally, because everything's so heightened.
You mentioned Black Swan. You could say that there's some correlation there with the bird taking over. Is essentially maybe the bird wins, you know?
Yep.
He goes back to doing. I mean, that's not what happened, but that could be an alternate theory that he went back to doing Birdman, the bird one.
Birdman 4. Oh, Birdman 4. I love that scene. You want to do Birdman 4? No. Oh, I love that scene where the lady asks him about the pig. Oh man, that was hilarious. Yeah, no, Black Swan. Ironically, so I might need some fact checking here, but I'm pretty sure Black Swan. I believe Black Swan was Searchlight Pictures, and then I think also Birdman was Searchlight Pictures. Now, of course, it's different directors, different writers, but it is very fascinating where you put these two films, you know, up close and you analyze them, and it's like they're both very unique, but they do have story beats that are very similar, and it just goes to show the power of not only what people are willing to do to become relevant, but also just how important mental health is, which I also want to talk about how this film was ahead of its time. I mean, this film's tackling mental health in a very, I think, nuanced way, because all these characters in some way, shape, or form need mental health, but they don't really want to actually address it. And that's what, I mean, the whole play is focused on that. What are we? I always get this confused. What are we when we're not talking? I think it's like something like that, but it's the whole thing is about miscommunication in the play. So I think that also ties into these characters where they don't want to address things, and in turn that actually hurts them and it hurts their self-esteem. So
his daughter Emma Stone, she's in rehab, or was in rehab.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that scene of her like writing all the dots and everything represents like the I think it's millions of years. I liked her character. I thought she was very fascinating. I felt bad for her. Marv, what didn't you like about the ending though?
I just thought as a whole it was just dumb.
Explain.
I just thought when he shot himself, I said, "You've got to be kidding me!" And they all clapped. I kind of was out on the ending. I didn't write the whole movie off. I just said, "Yeah, FOH." I was like, "This won an Oscar. Fuck out of here." I just thought that was silly. And then when they wake up, and then he has the new nose, and then you see Birdman taking a shit on the toilet. And I was just like, yeah, nah. And then he jumped out the window, and then she looked at him or looked up, and he was in the air. I was like, no, this is nonsense. And then I said, I can't wait to talk about this. That's it.
I mean, Birdman in the bathroom is clearly like how you can't run away from your past as much as you try.
But even if it is, it's still silly. And
but we always talk about from from filmmaking perspective, if something doesn't work, what would you have done differently? Like, what would you? Because you said up to that point, you didn't write the film off. So how would you have done the film's ending differently?
I think he could have. I have two options. One, he could have shot the old lady in the head.
What is
it with you and wanting this lady to die?
Well, he'd be arrested.
I was very clear when I said she should die. I wasn't playing when I said that. I meant what I said. And two,
he's like, that's it. No more film criticism. That was it. That was the one person.
I feel that maybe she could have been the first person to clap. Maybe he was going to kill himself, and then she's the first person to acknowledge it, and then everybody else claps, and then it kind of goes off with him with a smile, like it just goes off, and you make of it what you will. That's all I got.
So you want to neuter the film's themes and messages?
I don't want to neuter anything. You asked me what I would do differently. I wouldn't do anything. I wouldn't make this movie.
But why would you want the critic to clap?
You asked me. I said I want her to die. Let's go with that. And you want to go with that instead? I can go with that.
I'm trying to break this down.
I'd rather this one have ambiguity so people can form their own opinion of how they end it.
We can blow her head off, and then we can just call it curtains.
But No. Let's break down the second option because the first one's ludicrous. The second option,
You just
I
said
want
the
to break.
second one was ludicrous.
No. The second
You
one I want to
did. You
break.
just
The
said it. You
second
said so you want
one,
to new to the themes. That implies that you think the second option is ludicrous.
no, it doesn't.
It does. So you said neuter
So
it. So you were accusing me of
what
neutering
I
the movie.
well, hear me out.
No.
What I'm
Because
saying is,
matter of fact, go
what
ahead.
I'm
I'm gonna let you go ahead.
what I'm saying is, I'm asking you why you would want the critic to clap first when it's established that she doesn't care about him. She
Yeah,
doesn't.
she said she's gonna
She
destroy the, his play.
But didn't she give him a raving review in the hospital?
That was alternate world. This is not
No, that's your
reality.
interpretation. It could have actually happened.
That's out of character for her to do that.
Oh,
Marv,
we don't even know her character. We don't know her. You
Marv.
just said it yourself.
We know she's a harsh critic, and then after his conversation with her, she was gonna tear him up.
Also, Marv, as someone that's married to a nurse, do you know the likelihood of surviving that kind of gunshot wound?
So it can't happen.
I mean, there's like a 1% chance, but
So there is a chance then.
sure.
I mean, he shot off his nose, maybe.
All right then.
I don't know how that happened. He was just like,
Exactly. Well, exactly. And Sergey, you're proving my point. Like, oh, whoopsie daisy. Like ooh.
I have shaky hands.
Just so you know, the director himself said it's all up to interpretation. So that's your interpretation. That doesn't mean that it's not another way to look at it. And you
So
yourself just said there's a 1% chance. So there's a chance.
okay.
Period.
Well, I want to break this down because again, I'll look in the comment section to see what the audiences are saying. But so just so I understand correctly, so you would have wanted it to be the critic claps after he accidentally shoots his nose off.
I didn't say that. You weren't paying attention. I said that before he could do that, she is the one that first she stands up and claps, and everybody else joins in applause. And then before the film cuts, the last shot is you see him looking at everybody clapping, and then it cuts, and then you make of it what you will.
That's just spoon feeding.
So then go in option number one. Then I said blow her head off. Neither option you guys like.
That's not spoon feeding. That's like getting a tractor and feeding you.
He's not Javier Bardem in No Country for Old Men, okay?
That's not how that movie ended.
No, but you don't see what's his name? Michael Keaton going off blowing people's heads out in the whole movie. If anything, that'd be Edward Norton.
He would have been the more likely person to do that, especially since he wanted more screen time. Because
when he literally spent a good, 2 minutes ripping her for being a cunt. What are you talking about? Never mind. Can we go to the comments, please?
No, yeah, because again, I've seen this film a lot. So when he's talking to the critic, Edward Norton's character, I want to specify, that's playful banner. Because
I'm talking about.
He actually respects him in a little bit.
Yeah,
I'm talking about Keaton. Keaton's talking to the critic when he ripped her.
Right. What are you trying to get at?
Never mind.
He verbally ripped her.
He verbally ripped her. He verbally ripped her. So he would be angry enough to shoot her.
No.
I would have been.
So she's questioning his intelligence. So him just verbally, addressing the issue is actually.
I would have took her drink and then put it in her mouth.
I want to also mention, and this is really important, Marv. And again, I've seen this film probably like a dozen times. It's really important to note that it's not even a matter of like I just disagree. It's like if you watch the film in detail, it's objectively not true. And I say that because there wasn't any guns on set. It was a prop gun. If you recall, Mike Shiner literally criticized him and said, "I can see."
I remember that
button.
part.
It's like,
well, how did he shoot himself then?
Let me finish. He said, "I can see it." He's like, "I need it to feel real. I need a real gun."
Mm-hmm.
So Michael Keaton gets him a real gun. So it wasn't one of those things where it was like premeditated where he wanted to commit suicide like throughout the film. It's one of those things where it just happened. I don't think he would have gone all Joker on her because again, he didn't have a gun to begin with. He's never had a gun up until this point. He only had a gun because Mike Shiner needed a gun to feel real.
He's not a violent person either.
Yeah, even the fights, even the quote unquote fight scene, like he's not even throwing punches. He's like holding on to him. Like
Yeah.
he got one good punch in, which I thought that was hilarious. But yeah, no, I did not get the vibe that he was violent. Like he's a very even the scenes where the Birdman character like freaks out at him tearing stuff up. Like he's tearing stuff up. Like he's not. He doesn't get like a machine gun. It's like shooting up the room. Like say hello to my little friend. Like it's just he's tearing up papers, like his own papers.
I mean, Keaton's character kind of disappears and becomes the character of the stage play that he's performing.
I agree. I'd agree with that. It's very fascinating to see Michael Keaton like morph into this role where it's like you have his own personal persona, then you have what we at this up to this point knew him as, and then you see him like in this, and it's like, oh my goodness.
He wants
And
his recognition outside of these Hollywood roles, and then he sees he's not going to get it with this critic who's going to destroy what's left of his career. So he kind of like, I guess it might be a little over top that he just commits suicide, but it's fitting for the character that he's playing in the play, and those kind of blend in together.
And it's something that was foreshadowed like throughout, because as I mentioned, like the jellyfish at the beginning, like that's literally one of the first shots that you see, and then you see Birdman literally crashing down to the earth, which I think is symbolic for like his career. And then later on in the film, when he mentions that jellyfish story, and it's like, oh, that's why it was shown earlier in the film.
Yeah.
It's because
it's all from his perspective. I think even when we're seeing it at the window shot, that's still him thinking that this is how his daughter views him.
How he wants.
Maybe he's still like passing. And that's his like hallucination as he's going out.
And the title of the film isn't just Birdman; it's the unexpected virtue of ignorance. Like ignorance is a big part of this film. I mean, in order for him to be loved by critics, he legit has to be ignorant. He has to be so ignorant that he views the one person that absolutely hates him with a passion as like giving him a raving review. So we do have a bunch of comments though. I'll leave the spoiler talk right now in case there's some people that are talking about it, just for those that are like going back. Let's see. Where were we? Volkswagen Joe 18, laughing emojis. Troy said the way Emma Stone looks up at the sky all happy at the end is how Marv looks at the credits starting to roll in this movie.
That was a good one. I like that.
And I know Marv doesn't like the character, but also he's the critic walking out while everyone's clapping. Like Sergey and I were in the front row, like clapping at the movie, and Marv's like, "I'm out of here. I'm not seeing these end credits. There's no after credit scene." I guess I like Bardo more than Birdman because it's more fun and psychedelic. The mild pretentiousness spice up with surrealism. Maybe I'll give Bardo a second chance at some point. I don't see. The problem is that movie's like, I think it's almost 3 hours long.
It is,
and I wasn't a huge fan of it.
Nah.
I thought it was okay to solid, but who knows? Maybe I'll rewatch it. Black Swan was better. Whiplash for girls. LOL. I will be honest with you guys. All three of these films are in my top 250. Like, I love all three of these. It's almost like trying to pick your favorite kid, honestly. Although, full disclosure, I think Whiplash and Black Swan, I think they're both like slightly outside my top 100, and then Birdman I think is like I think it's in my top 50 if I recall correctly. But that's not to say that I don't love all three. I think all three are fantastic films, and I'm very much so looking forward to rewatching Whiplash for this, which will probably, I suspect, be this time next year.
No, it will be 2 years from now.
2 years?
It'll be when you're getting your AARP card, Chad.
Lots of people thought Whiplash should have won Best Picture instead of Birdman, but I thought it was Chazelle's first film, so it makes some sense that they didn't do it. I will be honest. I vividly remember 2014, and it was never going to be Whiplash. And I say that as someone that loved Whiplash, someone that dragged a bunch of friends to the theater to see that film. When that film came out, it had critical acclaim, but it was a snowball effect where it slowly gained a lot of like love from audiences. Like I still remember when it first came out, there really wasn't a lot of audience ratings on IMDb. Now, of course, you look at it 11 years later, there's a lot of it, but it was one of those things where it was like a critic darling and audiences were slowly coming up. And how do I know that? Look at the box office. I think it made like $10 million. How many people saw it? Editing, best supporting actor, and I think it was sound mixing, I believe. It won 3 Oscars though. And it's a great film, but Giselle didn't have a chance. He was just happy to be nominated for best director. But that was just a great year. I mean, in general. I mean, like if we should talk about the best picture nominees that year. We had American Sniper, Birdman, Boyhood, Grand Budapest Hotel, Imitation Game, Selma, Theory of Everything, and Whiplash. So I still remember this. This was Boyhood versus Birdman. It was actually, I had predicted that Boyhood was going to win, but Birdman had won. Sergey, you've seen all these movies, right? All the nominees?
What were they again?
So they were Birdman, American Sniper, Boyhood, Grand Budapest Hotel, Imitation Game, Selma, Theory of Everything, and Whiplash.
Selma is the only one I haven't seen.
Oh, well, Martin Luther King Jr. Day is coming up. It's a good movie. I really like it.
I remember liking Theory of Everything. I thought the performance was really excellent from Eddie Redmayne. So I was pulling for him for best actor.
And he won.
Yeah.
I still wish that Jake Gyllenhaal was nominated for Nightcrawler. Like that was such a great performance. Marv, of those nominees that I announced, which haven't you seen? I know Grand Budapest Hotel, Boyhood, right?
Uh-huh.
Did you see Theory of Everything and Imitation Game?
No. I know what they are though. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean it was a stacked year. Like it was one of the years that like really made me fall in love with movies because that time frame between October and December of that year, like it was literally one hit after another for me. It was like Nightcrawler, and then the next day I went to see Birdman. Boyhood was over the summer. Interstellar I saw like 4 times. It's just great. Like it was very, very good.
They re-released Interstellar and Whiplash last year for the anniversary.
Yep.
I don't think they released any of the other ones. Like Birdman wasn't in theaters.
No. I think that's because they were looking at the I don't want to say the impact, but like which are ones that people would see in like theaters again. Interstellar was like a slam dunk. I mean, that's one that was like selling out in terms of like the re-release. And then I think Whiplash, they did it because I was gonna say Damien Chazelle had a new film, but he didn't. I think it might have just been that because it's a film that is so beloved at this point, has like a following that's why they did it.
Yeah, I'm glad I saw it in theaters. It was really good.
Me too. I remember we saw that together.
Cool.
I'll never forget the first time I saw that in theaters. It was with 3 friends, and we all loved it. Like it was a great bonding experience. I'm looking forward to Marv seeing it. It's such a tense film, like so good. Why are you rushing? Where are you dragging? Yeah, Marv, LOL. The Academy should have given it to Grand Budapest, though, and Interstellar should have been nominated. Shake my head. So this is a very difficult year for me because I'm very happy Birdman won Best Picture. That being said, everybody in this chat and everybody here, including you, especially you, Sergey, knows how much I love Grand Budapest Hotel. Like, I love that film with a passion. But I knew it wasn't going to win. There wasn't a snowball chance in hell that was going to win. Which is why I'm glad that it won the technical categories. Like, it picked up for, like, original score. It was awesome. Interstellar, I do wish it had gotten nominated. I'm trying to think. I probably would have replaced it with The Theory of Everything. I like that movie a lot, but Interstellar, I think that with what it was able to do and the fact that it was pretty beloved when it first came out and has, held on to its status all these years later, I think it should have been nominated. Mutilla also agrees. We put this in our top 100, right? Let me just double check.
Yeah, it's in our top 100.
Oh, okay, I just wanted to make sure.
I'll tell you what movie's not in our top 100. Gravity.
Hey, I like Gravity, but
7 Oscars though. It's kind of crazy.
That movie's awesome. That movie is
All right,
fantastic.
very okay.
It's very
Marv,
great.
we're in agreement.
It doesn't
I love
matter.
Gravity.
So, it did a sweep at the Oscars. You can't take it away from it.
And you look at the awards that it won. It's like best visual effects, yeah. Best score. I mean, the score was pretty amazing. The directing, all the behind the scenes of that film, with what he was able to do and make like a tight 90-minute film that feels very, in my opinion, scary because it tackles all the things that I would be terrified of, which is not having control of your movement, like just constantly moving and not being able to grab onto everything. That terrifies me.
That was another great year. That might have been
Oh
better.
yeah,
Actually. That might have been better than 2014.
2013. So 2011 was what got me into the Oscars. 2012 was what made me fall in love even more, and then 2013 was when it was like, okay, I'm gonna watch the Oscars every single year. This is amazing. Like 12 Years a Slave, Wolf of Wall Street, Her, Gravity, and then 2014. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is even better. Volkswagen Joe 18 says Interstellar should have won. It is really good. One movie I actually bought in my collection. It's one of many for me. It's a great looking 4K. I will say that. Oh, Can Articulates in the chat. He says, "What's up? I showed up late, dude. Good to hear from you, man. I hope you're doing well." Nightcrawler, another good one. Absolutely agree. Man, I haven't seen Theory of Everything since it came out. Honestly, I am with you. I haven't seen it since I think it was end of 2014. And I liked it. I liked it quite a bit, but I haven't seen it since. In fact, I think it's the only nominee that I haven't seen twice at least. Because I did see Merc. Actually, no. Wait. Let me go back. Check that. Theory of Everything, keep Merc and Sniper. I would have taken out.
Yeah, get rid of that. What the heck?
You guys are crazy. You guys
Nah.
both are crazy.
No, I would never watch that movie again.
You guys are insane. That movie is 10 times the movie this is. You guys lost it.
Oh,
You've lost it.
It's the
You've
most
lost
average movie I've seen.
it. You
Clint
guys have lost it.
Clint Eastwood's directing that movie was on autopilot.
You guys have lost it. Please stop it. Stop it.
That baby, though. The most real baby I've ever seen. Realest baby since The Flash.
I actually think his other movie was better. The Richard Jewell.
Ooh, that's good. I'm not sure.
I think that's better than American Sniper. I mean, it got some award buzz, but not a whole lot.
No. It's not American Sniper. It's American Sniper.
American.
That movie's awesome. And it's a giant box office hit.
Yeah, no, I mean, it definitely was. I mean, like, all jokes aside, I did see it twice in theaters, but I'm not going to lie. I think it was, I want to say 2017. Let me actually quickly check. I saw it twice in theaters. I really liked it. I think it might have been an honorable mention that year for in terms of like, sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. It was close to making my top 10, if I recall correctly. But I think I tried to watch it years later, and it just was the type of thing where I wasn't a big fan of it. No. You know what? I just checked Letterboxd. It wasn't that I watched it and I wasn't a big fan of it. It's that I didn't finish it. I couldn't watch it a third time. I was just like, I'll go watch Hurt Locker.
Or The Covenant, the Guy Ritchie film.
Yeah, Covenant, much better. I think Imitation and Theory of Everything helped heighten the British historical drama genre, which I've always thought as enjoyable but mid. That's an interesting perspective. I will give you that in terms of British films. There's usually like one or two that gets nominated. I would say every couple of years. I mean, the 90s. You look at the 90s. There were so many films that were British that got nominated, but Imitation Game, I do think is quite a good film. I do wish that they tackled more of the without spoiling anything for those who haven't seen it. There's like a twist in the film, and I do kind of wish that they dove more into it. Theory of Everything, I think that it is a more traditional film, but I do think that with what it does really well.
Yeah.
But great year for movies. It really was. Like, holy cow. It was fantastic. Boyhood, I'll never forget Boyhood only winning one Oscar, and I was a part of the college newspaper, and I remember I wrote a review, well, not a review, an article about that and how it was like an upset. But I also spoke about how like the reason why it was like such a surprise was because Boyhood for months was positioned as like the heavy hitter, like the one that's going to win. That's finally going to get Linklater a best director nomination. I mean, director win. And then here you go, and you see NR2 come in and like sweep up the Oscars. And
Did you become the critic in Birdman with that?
so it's funny you ask. I felt conflicted because I'm like, I love the film. I love Birdman. It's not like I hate the film. It's not like it was. I mean, at that point, there wasn't a movie of that list that I didn't like or felt indifferent to, but it was more so just that I'm like, oh, Boyhood should have won. But looking back, I'm glad Birdman won, but I also acknowledge that I love Boyhood. I think Boyhood's great. The Triton says 2014 was a good year for sci-fi, though. Yeah, it really was.
You know, a Ethan Hawke movie that came out the same year that doesn't get talked about?
Which one?
Predestination.
Oh, that's a good one. I do like that one. You know, it's funny because I feel bad for the people watching that movie now because without spoiling the movie for those that haven't seen Predestination, there's an actor in that film that is now famous. So when you go back to it, the main twist is something that you can kind of see projected early on. But when you and I first saw it, Sergey, it was like,
I didn't know who that person was.
Yeah, we didn't know who it was, so it was a surprise. Like, but it's still a really good movie. Like, it's very smart. Marv, did you see Predestination?
Predestination?
Yeah.
No.
He saw Project Almanac instead.
No, I never watched that.
Thank God.
That made my top 10 worst of that year. I hated that movie.
Yeah, talk about two time travel movies. One was
it just goes to show how you can have a genre and have two films from that genre that do it in a completely different matter. Like, great example. Tristan says Predestination melts my brain. It did for me as well, although full disclosure, I've seen it twice. First time I loved it. Second time I didn't love it as much, but I still liked it. I do think I need to rewatch it. I think that would be a good candy film, honestly. I feel like that film, that would genuinely melt my brain probably watching it. Like, especially since it's been long enough to where I remember some of the twists, but not all of them. But such a good film. There was also, I'm trying to think of some of the other films that.
I mean, we had Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Oh yeah, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
That in 3D. Oh, what was the other one?
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy, which I enjoyed, but I'm terrified to rewatch. I am, man. I'm terrified because I don't think I would like it as much.
We got the Mads Mikkelsen film, Salvation.
You know, I didn't see that one. I did see The Hunt, but I know that's from like 2012. Oh, we did also have. There were some stinkers though. We also had Transformers: Age of Extinction. We had The Hobbit: Battle of Five Armies, Hunger Games, Boredom Part 1.
You had you guys' favorite, John Wick.
John Wick, yeah.
That is true, and I will say this. My boy Ryan, I'll never forget. We went to the same college, and we had just started becoming friends, and he would say, "Oh, you want to go to movies?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Choose whatever movie." I'm like, "All right, cool." And I already would have something in mind, and we would just like blind watch it. Like, we would not know anything about it. So John Wick, I was like, "Let's go see John Wick." And he's like, "What is it?" I'm like, "It's like an action movie with Keanu Reeves." That's all we knew. And I'll never forget we saw in IMAX, and both of us like turned to each other. We were like, "Yo, that was actually like good." And it kind of changed me in terms of how I viewed action films because it was so refreshing seeing an action film where it's like, oh, it's wide angle shots. It's not extreme close up shots like Taken 3 or Taken 2. It was very refreshing. And I know you're not a big fan of the franchise, Sergey, but like,
I mean, I enjoyed it when I first saw it.
oh,
It
okay.
just
Oh, okay.
became-
So it kind of like
yeah.
changed over time.
Yeah. It became more self-aware and a little too overhyped.
I
It
feel
was,
like
it was
the
a
fourth
small
movie-
movie. I feel like there wasn't a whole ton of attention when it first came out.
It
No,
was.
there wasn't.
It got attention over word of mouth. Word of mouth gave birth to the franchise.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was. I think it made like 40 million total overall. So it was like a.
It boosted its popularity on home video. That's how they
Yes.
grew the sequel.
It's very interesting watching that franchise because each movie it gained more and more of an audience. Like, excuse me, the fact that a fourth entry of an R-rated franchise was able to make as much as that movie did, it's pretty crazy, pretty awesome.
It's awesome.
But yeah, I'll never forget that experience. Foxcatcher, the Foxcatcher was where I kind of broke the spell because up to then I was showing Ryan like one hit after another. Like we were blind watching all these movies, but Foxcatcher was the movie that I took a bunch of friends to see, and they all took turns falling asleep.
That movie sucks.
Oh, you've seen Foxcatcher?
It sucks.
I
You
like
didn't
it.
think Steve Carell was good in it?
No, that's one of his
Really?
worst performances.
What?
Really?
Yeah, I hate it. I think he's overacting.
Really? He doesn't say much though.
I think, but his whole the shtick that he's doing, Mark. Hold on, no, let me do it again. Mark. No, that sucked. He's better than that. He's way better than
I
that.
don't think he was choking. It was just one of the. He was a very nervous individual, like the actual DuPont,
It
John
sucked.
DuPont.
Mm.
No, I mean that's the thing. The film, like if you look it up, it is pretty accurate, and what's also kind of crazy is it took place in PA, like the real life story. So it added to it. It's funny though because that's a film that when I first saw it, I wasn't a big fan of it, but I decided to rewatch it.
So
And
you
I've
thought it
actually
sucked too?
Huh?
So you thought it sucked too?
No. I didn't. It was just one of those things where I was watching it with a bunch of friends, and again, I was 18 years old, so I was kind of impressionable. So I was like, I think I gave it like a 3.5 out of 5, which at that point was kind of low. Now that's a good rating for me, but that was kind of on the lower side. I didn't really know what to make of it.
Yeah.
But then I rewatched it and I liked it better. I'm like, okay, I see what the director was going for. I see why he had the cinematography like that, where it's like, it's very I call it sleepy cinematography because it's very like overcast. It's very much so trying to emulate the darkness of what these characters are going through.
Yeah, I remember giving it like a 3 out of 5. I was expecting more out of it.
Oculus was way better. Oculus. X
Well,
Days of
that's a
Future
completely
Past.
different movie. I would
I know.
more
I'm not.
I'd more so compare I, Tanya to that.
I, Tanya came out.
Yeah,
in
that's a good
2017?
comparison.
I thought I, Tanya came out in 2017.
Yeah, it did, but it was kind of
Yeah, but in terms of
more
like films that are
competitive.
competitive and also a teacher.
I, Tanya is way better than Foxcatcher.
Well, yeah, I like I, Tanya better, so.
It's tough for me to say because I've only seen I, Tanya once. I've seen Fox.
That is
I've
insanity.
seen both only once.
I've seen Foxcatcher 3 times.
Yeah.
Ironically enough, I did what Can't Articulate does this sometimes. I watched it on like the anniversary of when I saw it. So I think it was November 27th of 2014 when I saw Foxcatcher, and 10 years later, so last year, I rewatched Foxcatcher and I was like, I'm digging this.
Foxcatcher didn't win anything though, right?
No, it got nominated for a bunch though. It was like,
But I, Tanya, I remember won Best Supporting Actors, I thought.
It should have won Best Screenplay.
oh, I don't know about that one.
Do we have any comments?
Yeah, I was gonna get to them. Yeah, I, Tanya. So that was a best adapted screenplay. I'm actually very curious. Like I remember that year had like a stacked lineup. Let me just refresh. So yeah, there was okay. Actually, my apologies. Original screenplay was stacked. adapted screenplay wasn't as much, but I think what won deserved to win. So you had Mudbound, all right. Molly's Green, great screenplay. Logan, solid. Disaster Artist, good screenplay. Call Me by Your Name, excellent screenplay. So yeah, I don't think Aitani even was nominated. Actually, to think about it, for screenplay, but it was nominated for supporting actress, and I think it was editing. It might have been. The Triton says, "Is it true NR2 originally wanted Keaton to do meta stuff on his Batman role, but couldn't get the rights, so he settled for Birdman instead?" I don't know, to be honest with you. It wouldn't surprise me because this film was more of the mid-budget film, geared towards adults. Remember that? I remember that. So I think that they probably couldn't afford the rights and everything. So if true, like, it checks out. Volkswagen Joe 18 says, leave Hungry Games alone. Hey, I was not a fan of Mockingjay 1 or 2. Unfortunately, I wanted to. I liked Catching Fire in the first Hunger Games, but Volkswagen Joe 18, have Marv and Sergey get to watch one battle after another. Glad Chad hyped it up for me to check out.
I watched it. I watched it in theaters.
Yes, Sergey saw it in theaters, and I actually took Marv to see. Well, actually, I guess technically Marv took me to see it on the big screen in a real IMAX theater, which was it was a great experience, and Marv loved it. So Sergey liked it, but I know he wasn't as big on it.
No, I do need to rewatch it. I did enjoy it.
I actually plan to show it to my family and some friends of mine.
Oh no!
Why? They're gonna love it. What are you talking about?
There's gonna be a couple of them that aren't gonna like it, and then you're gonna change your rating from a 5 to a -50. I see the vision.
No,
I see the writing on the wall.
Now, but now I want you to elaborate. Why would you say that?
Because I know sometimes you'll watch, movies with like people, and then if they don't like it as much as you, then sometimes like your rating will like.
That has never happened. I want you to point out when that's happened.
Well, that's the thing. It's happened in my eyes. It's happened so many times.
We'll pick out some movies because I haven't heard one yet. Go ahead.
I don't know off the top of my head.
You don't know because you don't have any.
No, I do. I just don't know.
Pick one.
I don't know off the top of my head. I would have to go through.
Because it hasn't happened. Because I know what you're talking about. You're talking about when I watched The Clockwork Orange with my niece and Jamie.
No.
He actually enjoyed it more than him.
What those? Yeah. We had a good laugh at it. They made it bearable, but that's never happened. What you just referred to has never happened. If I love a movie and my family or friends don't love a movie, my rating doesn't change. I love How to Be Single. Every time I tell somebody that's my favorite movie, they look at me like I'm crazy. It doesn't change.
I'll tell you what. I will do my research because there are several times where what I explained did happen.
It's never.
I'll go through your letter. I'll go through your letter.
I'll bet you $10. That's how confident I am.
You'll bet $10?
Yes, because I know it's never happened. You made that up. That's never happened.
I swear.
I would double it. I'll give you $20. It's never happened. If my rating goes down, it's because I actually just felt that it just got worse over time. You do it all the time. I'm allowed to do it. Just because I do it doesn't mean I'm around somebody and they made my rating go down.
Well, sometimes you don't watch a movie and you're already judging it and giving it a rating, like with Joker 2.
I didn't even grade Joker.
But you were talking so much crap about it and you hadn't even seen it for months.
I said that based on what I know about the movie, that's terrible that he did that. He made it as an FU to the fans. That's terrible.
I don't think. Nah. There's a lot more.
Terrible. I'm not saying anything's wrong with the filmmaking. I'm saying that if you made a movie that is designed to say F you to the fans because you don't like they embraced the first movie in a way that you didn't intend to, that's wrong.
I could say the same thing about Star Wars Force Awakens and The Last Jedi.
Well, the Last Jedi.
We should trash every Rian Johnson.
Me and Chad just talked about that. We talked about that. I don't know when that was, Chad.
When we saw Running Man, we talked about it.
Yes, I think that's I think Rian Johnson is wrong. I told Chad that. Chad tried to defend him. I still think that's wrong.
Well, Chad only likes that one Star Wars movie, apparently. So
Oh, now it's only the one Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
You're not
He thinks
supposed to do
the
that.
first one's okay, but he really has a hard on for
No.
Last Jedi.
I wanted to be clear. I really, really like the original. I just don't like all the added CGI that they have. I'm like,
excuses.
This is his actual stance. He feels that because it's a long-running franchise, that no matter what, people are going to break off into factions anyway. So it was a lose-lose battle anyway.
am I wrong? Look at Doctor Who. Look at the Lord of the Rings franchise. We all three of us have gotten
No,
it.
The Hobbit sucks. That's why people don't like it.
No.
I like
Sergey
it.
likes it though. Sergey likes it though, which is fine. But it proves my point that it's like it's broken into different factions now. When you just had Lord of the Rings, it was like, okay, yeah, everybody loves Lord of the Rings, cool. But then when you added the Hobbit, it added some, some
I
mixed
feel like
response.
now that Rings of Power is out, there'd be more appreciation for The Hobbit.
See, that's another good point too. There is more appreciation now for the Hobbit films because of that show. So yeah, you're not wrong. I personally believe that because I have yet to see a franchise where it's like, yeah, we've been running for over 50 years, and you know something, it's pretty consistent in that everyone loves everything about it. It doesn't happen. Like even James,
Except Mission Impossible, according to Marv, with the last movie.
That movie sucks. And I want you to know, Chad, I just upped it too. $30. I'm going to give you $30 if you can find that.
like I
Man,
said,
you might be able to sneak in an extra Criterion this month.
I will do my research, Marv, so that way I will have.
You will not. I know you won't, because it's not fair.
What's not fair?
I said it's not fair. There's no research to do because it's never happened. You made that up.
That's why I'm glad you use Letterboxd. I can look at your Letterboxd.
He's gonna change all his ratings right now.
Look at it right now.
No, Marv, because we got to wrap things up. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I'm not going to scroll through my phone. I only scroll through my phone if I have to like quickly find something.
Chad, I want you to know it's never happened. I will up it to $40. It's never happened. Ever. Ever. You made that up. And I need you to not do that. That's never happened. I've never lowered my rating because of other people. That's insanity.
I agree with insanity. By the way, Bootzilla says I, Tanya won for best supporting, which I do recall. It didn't really stick out for me like that win, but I do remember it. Volkswagen Joe 18 laughing emojis. We got to sneak Marv to Stranger Things finale with us. Yeah, before you got into the chat, we were actually talking about that, how we wanted to get him in. They added some other showings, but they added an 8:30 and 9 o'clock. But like, holy cow, the 8:30 is pretty much booked, and then the 9 o'clock is filling in fast. So it's already a success. Netflix, get on your game, Netflix, and actually release your movies in theaters. Come on now. Tanya has Margot Robbie, best performance to date. Ooh, that's tough.
Margot Robbie.
See, when I think about her, the first thing I think about is her breakout role, which was Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, that's what I think of.
But she is really good.
And then even then, I think of Babylon after that.
Babylon, yeah, I would say Babylon was second. She was great in Babylon. That's so good. Where's that on our list? I'm waiting for Jay Kelly to be available on Netflix. Do you think it's the Birdman this year? Pretty meta too, I heard. Excellent question. So I too am waiting for it to drop on Netflix, but I'm probably not going to watch it until like a week later because I'm going on a trip, which I will mention in a little bit. But I don't think Jay Kelly's going to have a lot of Oscar support. I think it's going to get nominated for maybe Best Supporting Actor, maybe a Screenplay nomination. I don't really see it getting a Picture and Director nomination. If it slips in with Picture, it would be cool. But there's just right now several international films that are in the running. And since the Academy has awesomely, I might add, added more of an international branch, I do think we're going to get like 2 or 3 international films. So I think that might push, Jay Kelly to, missing the cut for Best Picture. But I do think it will pick up a couple Oscar nominations at the very least. So, and I'm excited to watch it because once I watch it, I can then rank all Noah Baumbach's films. So,
Yeah, I like his movies. I like The Squid and the Whale and Marriage Story. Yeah, I even think Francis
Agreed.
Ha is pretty solid. White Noise is the one I wasn't a big fan of.
I'm with you. White Noise, I was kind of like, which is funny that you mentioned that because one of my subscribers commented on my video for White Noise, or not video, my review for White Noise, White Noise. I'm sorry. On Letterboxd, he's like, "Oh, you should do a ranking for Noah Baumbach." And I was like, "It's funny you mentioned that because once Jay Kelly comes out, I will be filming a ranking, so works out." Chad, I still think you should check out It. Welcome to Derry. A lot of references to Dr. Sleep. Of course, it is Stephen King. Maybe I will. I think one of the reasons why I just haven't checked it out yet is because I thought the first It was solid, like an extended episode of Stranger Things. I really didn't like the second It. Kind of soured me, but maybe I'll check it out. Do you think you'll check it out, Sergey, or no?
No,
No.
I'm fine with just the first It movie, and then the second one just didn't do it to me. It was too long. I mean, I like the casting, but I didn't like the movie.
Yeah,
And
it was
even
like 3
Doctor
hours.
Sleep, I wasn't a fan of. I like Rebecca Ferguson in the movie, but I don't know. I think they dropped the ball with that one.
Oh,
Still
just
need
so
to
you
see.
guys know, this is an alert off of Deadline. Scarlett Johansson is eyeing the villain role in Batman 2.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Oh, this is awesome.
Will we ever get the Batman 2?
I actually hope not.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with not getting it.
Yeah, I really don't think
It works on its own. So if worse comes worse, if it doesn't happen, like if James Gunn's like, we need some hilarious Batmans, we're not doing Robert Pattinson.
Yeah.
The Batman does work on its own. Like I have it on my shelf. It's a really, really good film. So
Yeah.
international cinema is on fire this year. No other choice for Best Picture nomination.
Mm.
I'm very jealous of Sergey on Monday. That's all I'll say. Very jealous.
I gotta have like a 5 out of 5 star review. Best movie.
No.
Since Sliced Bread.
Yeah, like even if you give it like a 2 out of 5, like you just put it
you
5
won't
out of 5.
know anyway. You won't have access to the internet, or actually,
Yeah,
you
you're
will.
not. So I will, but it's going to be very limited. Which we'll talk about that in a minute. Actually, so I know Marv gave Birdman a 2.75 out of 5. Sorry, you gave it a 5 out of 5, right?
I gave it a 5 out of 5. Yeah, there's nothing really I would change about it, so there's nothing to take away.
Agreed. Me too. I also give it a 5 out of 5. Which will lead to. Normally, of course, it would be next Wednesday when we be talking about the next entry in our list, which is Black Klansman, the Spike Lee film. However, I'm going to be on vacation next week. As Sergey mentioned, it's not that I won't have internet. It's going to be very limited. So we won't be doing a live stream next week, but we are going to try to shoot for the 17th. And then Sergey, Marv, and I will regroup prior to that and discuss about what we're going to do with like Christmas week to decide like what we'll do. Because I believe, let me actually check the schedule real quick. We just did Birdman. Black Klansman would be the 17th, and then if we did the 24th, it would be Blade Runner. So, yeah, so it's exciting. But yeah, so just to let you guys know that I also, for those of you that are watching, I will also be releasing my top 10 worst of 2025 video on Friday, so stay tuned for that. Trying to think of some of the other stuff to be in the loop for.
Director rankings of any sort?
It's funny you should ask. So my next director ranking will be. That's the problem when that's the problem when you have stuff like post dated. It's like, which one's set? Let me go back real quick. Oh, this is a big one. Yeah, I think this is gonna be a success. It's Francis Ford Coppola. So this time next week, my Francis Ford Coppola ranking will be dropping. So.
Megalopolis is number 1 for him.
Go back to the club. There it all.
That's the only thing I'll remember is fucking Shia LaBeouf and what's his name?
Oh, John Voight.
Yeah,
John Voight
that's
on the
the only
couch.
thing I'll
Like, saying,
remember.
like, Actually, there's a lot that I remember about that film. Like, I feel like that's a film that you like watch on like a special candy, and it's just like that's like I feel like that is a film that's going to have a cult following in the future as like a so bad it's
Probably.
good movie. Like John Voight being on the couch was like, I want to say that's boner. Like it's hilarious. Or Aubrey Plaza, her name is Wow Platinum. Wow Platinum is her name. Like it's ridiculous.
They should have had Owen Wilson just come in and talk to her.
Oh wow. Yeah. Nice to look out for that. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, Francis for a couple of that ranking, I'm looking forward to releasing. He did a lot of films, so it's going to be very interesting to see people's ranking
The Oscar award-winning film Jack.
That was a rough one to watch. See, that's actually why on my thumbnail I have Jack and then I have Apocalypse Now because I'm just like, this guy was able to do both. Let that sink in. It's wild. Bootzilla says stream is buffering a lot. Dude, I'm sorry. I don't know if it's the internet or thing itself, but
Chad's on vacation already.
Yeah, it's like. But I appreciate all you guys watching. If you guys are rewatching this down the line, be sure to write in the comment section any thoughts that you might have. Be sure to follow Sergey, SkynetGen on his channel. I have it down below. Marv, #1 Cowboys fan, I also have his channel. Looking to see some videos from him this year. It's been kind of quiet, so I want to see that video. And of course, if you're first time on my channel, be sure to subscribe to me. And yeah, I appreciate you guys for watching. Have a good night.